Okay, so let's get started with the Gita Shlok number 1. As I had, I hope that you have followed my introduction video about the Gita. Okay, so I just wanted to share with you that there are a few shlok that I have tried to pen it down into one session, but somehow it's not possible. This is the first shlok and I don't think that I can actually put this and put the entire learning of that shlok into this one video, because it just is going to make the video very lengthy. So I'm just going to stick with the time constraints. I have selected this just a chunk of the shlok, and that much I will be telling you, and then we will be continuing in the next week. Okay, so let's get started. The learnings we are going to learn is, I know that the Bhagavad Gita, it came from the God himself, and how to evolve. Yeah, okay, let me keep this little things secret, because I know that certain things are always good when they come at the right time. So yeah, I'm not going to explain here. Something just came up my mind which I'm just holding back. Okay, so the shlok 1, it goes something like this. Now somehow I don't feel that it's the Sanskrit shlok, and the God himself, he spoke this shlok, he actually sang this shlok, and while he was advising Arjun, and yeah, while he was talking to Arjun, which is why I just feel that it is just Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is eligible, that he can actually put the right amount of divinity while uttering this shlok. So I'm omitting speaking the shlok altogether. Okay. The external war. So the first shlok, it translated to where the king Dhritarashtra, he asks Sanjay that my sons and Pandu's son are they have gathered at the war front at Kurukshetra, at Dharmakshetra, Kurukshetra. Tell me what they did. Okay, so that is the flat translation of that. Now what does that mean? We will get into that. The external war. Okay, the external war that happens inside everybody. Now the external war front, we are going to see from the perspective of the Bhagwad Gita as it is. It's a very famous Bhagwad Gita, so yeah, you'll be able to get it at Amazon. Kurukshetra is a sacred place. Okay, so the Kurukshetra is a sacred place. Kurukshetra is believed that it's the sacred place of pilgrimage of the Kuru dynasty, and the Kuru dynasty is where the descendants of Kuru dynasty are the sons of Dhritarashtra and sons of Pandu. Also because the Gita was said by the God himself during the war. The God sung the Gita during the war which was held at Kurukshetra. This is also the reason why Kurukshetra is believed to be like a place of pilgrimage, because God himself started singing that song of Gita over there. So this is the reason why it is called Dharmakshetra. Okay, Dharmakshetra means the place where righteousness is taught. Not exactly righteousness is taught. It is a place where righteousness persists. Yeah, I hope that that's the right thing. Okay, now explaining you this Bhagavad Gita, I would just like to say that don't expect that I know the Bhagavad Gita all by heart. I also had to sit and learn all the different meanings from the different books that I have chosen, and that is how I just came up with this slideshow. And I'm just admitting very honestly that I don't know this entire thing by heart. I also have to read with you. So if you are also very serious about learning the Bhagavad Gita along with these lessons going on, then you can actually get into the 3 Bhagavad Gita that I had suggested. Either of the 3 you can get and start learning along with this video. Okay, why is Dhritarashtra? See, this is why Dhritarashtra was doubtful that his sons winning the battle was in the battle that is taking place at a place of righteousness. The place of dharma means the place where God had sung the song of Gita itself. Now, somehow it is said that God existed like long back, and the Gita was actually narrated 10 days after the war had begun, which is why it is said in the past tense rather than Dhritarashtra telling, "What are my sons doing now?" What did Dhritarashtra says, "What did they do?" So Dhritarashtra is asking in something that has happened in the past. Okay, so if you like to get a very much deeper into that, you can just go ahead and read Mahabharat by Vivek Dev Roy. He has given Mahabharat in very much detail, so you'll be able to get the entire details of it. Which is why Dhritarashtra was doubtful of his sons winning the battle. Dharmakshetra, the place of righteousness, and the people who follow righteousness. Whenever you go to such a place where it's like a place of dharma, the person is also following dharma. When these two energies unite, they just become all the more powerful. And Dhritarashtra was somebody who was not following dharma. He was following adharma, means he was like totally following the devilish path, and where he was just inviting his doom. But yes, still, so the thing goes as that Duryodhan, if he is not following dharma and he is at the place where it's the place of dharma, the place of righteousness, his power is not going to be increased. His power is not going to be increased because that place is the place of dharma. So his energy and the energy of the dharma is going to cut itself out. So definitely dharma is the most powerful. So dharma is not going to cut itself out. The dharma energy is going to cut the devilishness out of Duryodhan, which is where he is. It is believed that anybody who is not following the path of righteousness, if they go to a place of pilgrimage, if they go to a place of that where it's a place of righteousness, it is, yeah, and they cannot do anything that is adharma, they cannot do anything that is non-righteous. So that place, the energy of that place will not support that. So which is why Dhritarashtra was doubtful whether his sons would persist in the battle or not. And because the people, the Pandu's sons, they were the followers of dharma, and he knew that the result of the war will be in favor of the Pandus, because Pandus were very keenly following dharma. They were like following dharma since the time they were born. They were very divine within. So yeah, that is one thing. Dhritarashtra specified his sons as Kurus. Okay, so Dhritarashtra, when he tries to specify when he tries to ask Sanjay that like, what are my sons doing? For his sons, he used the word Kurus. What are my sons Kurus? The descendants of the Kuru dynasty, what are they doing? So by that he means and Pandus. So he means that the descendants of the Kuru dynasty are just his 100 sons and not the Pandavas, whereas it's the both Kauravas and Pandavas, both are the part of the Kuru dynasty. And Dhritarashtra has been found that he has a little bit of selfishness for his sons, that he wants his son to become the king rather than Pandu's son becoming the king. Whereas righteousness, it says that Pandu's eldest son Yudhishthir was eligible to become the king. Yeah, the righteous king. But Dhritarashtra also was taken away by the love for his son. Not exactly love for his son, it can be like attachment for his son, because love cannot pick the wrong path. Only attachment, unwanted attachment and Maya, illusion, that is what can take the wrong path. Okay, Dhritarashtra specified his sons as Kurus, which clearly shows that he is separating the Pandavas from the family lineage. So Dhritarashtra also had this little bit of, it's not little bit, it's like a huge thing of adharma that he was also supporting. That is not dharma, that he is supporting only his sons to be the next heir to the throne. The son of Pandav, Yudhishthir, he also has full right towards the throne, and seeing which one, either Duryodhan and Yudhishthir, which one of them is the one who really follows dharma, that person is going to be eligible to take up the throne. But as Dhritarashtra was very much illusioned by the affection, by the maya for his son Duryodhan, he did not want that Pandav's sons, Pandavs, they actually get a right towards the throne. A person who is doing this will certainly be uneasy and restless about their future. When somebody knows that what is the righteous thing, what does dharma say about who should be the next heir to the throne, which is but obvious. Even Dhritarashtra knows that Yudhishthir, the son of Pandu, is the righteous heir to the throne, but still he was permitting Duryodhan to become the next heir, this is the thing that he is aware of. And this is the reason that it's making him uneasy and restless, because he knows that even he and his son are following adharma, yet he is still concerned and he just wants to make sure that everything is right. So in life, a lot of people do this, that whenever they do anything wrong, they just try to confirm, okay, let me just double check it whether it's right or not. Anywhere where you are unsure, anywhere where you feel that it's not something right that you have done, then you will always be questioning, you will always be inquiring whether you did right or not. You will wait for approval of people, you will wait for others to say what it is, whether it's the right thing or not. So yeah, which also is there. So yeah, this is about the Bhagavad Gita as it is. Now let's see the internal war. What is the internal war? And this is via the Yatharth Gita. I had shown you all the 3 Gitas that I was going to follow. So the Yatharth Gita, it says the body is Dharmakshetra. When you follow the heart, okay, so whenever you are following your heart, I think by now you might have heard this a couple of times, that you should be following your heart, you should be following your heart, you should not listen to your chattering mind, you should not listen to your monkey mind. I don't know whether you have heard this or not. If you have heard this, let me know in the comments that you have heard about this fact that you have to listen to your heart, in contrasting to the fact that you sometimes get taken away by the chatter of your ego or the chatter of your monkey mind. Okay, a heart is the seat of the soul, and soul is the fragment of the ultimate God. So when you are following your heart, somehow you will be following, the body is Dharmakshetra, the body will become Dharmakshetra, the place of righteousness. And so that is when you will be following your heart. But Kurukshetra, Kuru means to do means to act. Okay, so when you actually try to act out of the 3 forces that are driven by the nature, the 3 forces are the sattvic, rajasic and tamasic, and these are the 3 forces that rule everyone. You will be finding that at times you have very sattvic mindset, at times your mindset becomes rajasic, and at times it becomes really tamasic. That applies to all of the people. Okay, so now if you have a question, okay, suppose what if somebody has opened all of their chakras, what does happen to them? See, they still are in their body, and the body is the body is what is driven by the 3 forces of nature, that is sattvic, rajasic and tamasic, which is why till a person is in their body, they are always going to be driven by these 3 forces, and these 3 forces bind all life in this eternity. So whether it's any kind of life, it always binds it to eternity, and somehow the sattvic, rajasic and tamasic forces, they act out in such a way that to get out of that shell, to get out of the drama of nature, it's almost impossible. Okay, but yes, the ones who actually get into spirituality, the ones who awaken their kundalini and they open all their chakras, for them, when they are overcoming their ego, they have this opportunity that they can master the 3 forces of nature, such that it is their choice whether they want to live, whether they want to take birth again. And yeah, The war that happens within your body, the body with 10 perceptors: objective mind, subjective mind, ego, 5 elements, and the 3 properties. So what are the 10 perceptors? So the 10 perceptors of objective mind, 10 perceptors of, not 10 perceptors, 5 perceptors of objective mind, 5 of subjectives, that means in total 10. I will have to check back on that whether that number is correct or not, whatever I said. 5 elements and 3 properties. The 5 elements is the fire, air, water, Ojas Tattva, okay, astral plane, and so those are the 5. I just counted 3. I know: earth, water, air, fire, and ether. Okay, so because the 5th one, ether, is somehow, a lot of people say the 5th element in a variety of different ways, which is why I just ended up saying ether. I know what else people might be saying. We're not covering up all the different names here. I'm just trying to clarify the 5 elements just so that you get clarity, and 3 properties. The 3 properties of nature, like we just talked about, sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic, is in divine and devilish manner, both forces will try to offend each other. Okay, so everybody has a divine force within, everybody has a devilish force within, and both the forces will try to offend each other. When the divine tries to do something really good, the devilish force within you will get offended and try to knock down the divinity by a much bigger blow. And the devilish force, when it tries to knock down with a big blow, the divine force, it gets offended. Oh, that thing is devilish. How can it win over me? And the divine force, it even bashes it with an even bigger blow. So this is what it keeps on happening inside everyone, which is the internal war. Okay, so Bhagavad Gita is not just about understanding what's going on in the outer world, but also what's going on within the inner world. So again, just a reminder, this is via the Yatharth Gita, the wars we fight since birth. Okay, so now let's get into the wars that we fight since birth. This is from the Bhagavad Gita by Yoganand Paramhans. God talks with Arjun. Again, I have by mistakenly written Arjuna. It's not Arjuna, it's Arjun. Okay, so okay. The first war is the materialistic war, the second is the psychological war, and the third is the spiritual war. Okay, so let's take into detail all of these 3. What do they mean? The materialistic war, what is that war? The day-to-day war on the good and bad within you. Everybody has a good and bad side within them, and everybody has to fight a day-to-day war. The materialistic war within them. The right answer, the right action, the wrong action. Let me tell you, this is about everyone. Okay, but yes, you might say, okay, now what if somebody is a yogi? Are they going to have this war within them? Yes, anybody who has a body, they are going to have this war. Only that the war that they fight will be at a different level. A person who has not awakened themselves at all, that person might be performing greater blunders, greater mistakes, and but the person who is a yogi, they also get into a materialistic war. Okay, don't think that a person who matches to the level of a yogi or has all their chakras opened, they will not get into the material. It's not that way. Anybody who is present inside the consciousness of our planet, they are going to be into the material war also. Okay, the second part is the psychological war. So the next part is the psychological war. So the psychological war is when somebody tries to consciously participate into meditation. Meditating and trying to unite with the God. So this is the war that happens when you try to meditate and your sense tendencies pull your attention outwards. Have you experienced that as soon as you sit for meditation, immediately you are not having any kind of itching or anything before, but as soon as you sit for meditation, you might feel like scratching here, and all of a sudden you just feel that something is like walking on you, something is crawling on you, whereas otherwise there are no insects in your house. But as soon as you sit to meditate, this is what starts happening. As soon as you sit to meditate, you feel that you start feeling drowsy, or you just start feeling, oh, just one phone call, I forgot to call, and let me just make that call again and then come back to meditate. Or something that you felt, oh, I just left something in the kitchen and now I just need to go and have a look. Okay, let me just get out of this state, go and put that burner off, and then I'll come and meditate. So these are the different kinds of distractions that pull your attention towards them when you are trying to go within. Okay, while your intellect tells you to continue to meditate because it's good. Okay, your intellect, see here there are two different forces at play. One is your intellect. Your intelligence tells you that no matter whatever happens, the right thing to do is to sit and meditate and attain higher states of consciousness. So that is where you know that the good for you is lying. But what are the other tendencies, the sense tendencies, okay, what you are sensing, what you are feeling, how do they pull your attention away from that intelligent thought? They will tell you, oh, I still have this much work to do. How can I sit for meditation? I still have to call this person. I still have to go and do certain work in the kitchen. And somebody is going to call me. How can I just sit and forget everything about what's going to happen? Or somebody is going to visit. How can I just not sit for meditation? So these are all the different tendencies that your senses are telling you. Your senses are going to tell you the tendencies that are just momentary. At times, what is momentary, if you feel it's what you're feeling for the moment, it's not going to last forever. So just in case you feel that I just did not make that one phone call to my friend to share that exciting news, it's fine, you can call an hour later. So when you just hold on to yourself, you know that somehow sitting and meditating is good for your long-term future, whereas calling that friend, it might be appearing good for the moment, but it's not good for your long-term future. Because you are getting up, you are not listening to your intellect, and you're just going and chatting with your friend. Okay, now by this I don't mean to say that you should not have friends. You should have friends, but if you have extra time during the day, the first thing that you should do is meditate, and then do your karma, do your day-to-day duties. When you have completed all of that and still some time you have left, then try to connect with friends. Okay, so your first responsibility towards yourself is to unite your soul with God, is self-realization, because that is what every human is born for. Okay, so yeah. And you may be aware that most of the people, they just get lost in sense tendencies, and they like to get lost in sense tendencies. Your friends are telling you, okay, over the weekend, let's go out for a movie. Now, you know, over the weekend going out for a movie is not a bad idea. But you have been promising yourself the full week that this weekend I'm going to do that cleansing process with myself, so that I can feel better, so that I can be better with others. Now you say what's important, that 1 hour of movie or the 2 hours of movie, it's going to be like good refreshment, but the effect of that movie, how long is that going to last? How long is the movie going to affect you? It can make you happy for the 2 hours that you're watching, great. It will make you happy whenever you discuss about that, maybe for 5-10 minutes. But what next? What after that? You still have your old self, the old uncleansed self. Maybe you might be thinking of doing some good cleansing, emotional cleansing meditation on the weekend, which is, yeah, it is sometimes it's like a lengthy process, and a lot of catharsis happens during that process. But you choose to bend towards what your friends are saying, that is your sense tendencies. And people will also tell you, oh, why have you become a yogi? Why have you become like somebody who wants to abandon the world? I'm not telling you that abandon the world, okay? And just in case if you feel that over the weekend you want to attend that movie with your friends, then try to make some other adjustment to complete your meditation first. Okay, so that's actually a good practice, Try to, whenever it comes to meditation practices, whenever it comes to practices related to spirituality, don't swap it with something. Don't swap it with something that gives you sense tendencies, that gives you sensual pleasures. That thing is like a must. No matter whatever happens, you have to do that. Something for self-realization, something for you to work on the path of dharma. But then once you are done with that, you can definitely work on your bond with your friends also. Okay, so I hope that I'm clear with that. The spiritual war. So the war at the deeper plane of Dharma Kshetra within your body. So the Kurukshetra was when you are you're fighting with your sensual tendencies. Okay, what are your senses telling you? Your senses are telling you, oh, I am tired, I don't want to do anything. But your intelligence tells you, no, this is the time for meditation, you need to sit for meditation. Okay, so your sense tendencies, those are something that are going to rave a war inside you every time you try to move towards your self-realization practice. Then comes the spiritual war. Once you have learned to get accustomed to your sense tendencies, then you will be able to, your body is actually going to be like a Dharma Kshetra, and to overcome the separation with God by uniting during at Samadhi, which is a full and complete union, after which the war ends. So, a yogi, when a yogi consciously, okay, usually meditation and opening of the chakra reaching the state of Samadhi, it's not something that happens on a conscious level. Maybe you can call it that it happens on the super conscious level. So when you are working on all of that, any yogi, anybody who is a yogi, they are aware of this fact that Samadhi is something that at times people do reach that state during meditation, but they come back once again. So Samadhi is something where you are going to a very high level state, and then you are again coming back into this world. This coming back into this world is where you are again going to feel that you are bound by the three properties of nature, the sense tendencies and everything. Okay, so this war, this is a spiritual war, and it keeps going on and on until the soul is united with the divine permanently through Samadhi. Okay, now that does take a while, and yeah. So this is what I just wanted to explain for this week. I know that the video might have got really lengthy, so but yeah, I just tried to make it really very, very concise as possible. So what are we going to see in the next week? You learn in the next week Bhagwad Gita learnings video is the three gun. Okay, it's not gunas. I actually explained to you in the last introduction video that gun is something. Yeah, it does not have the word A, does not have the letter A, like we don't say it gunas, it is guna. Okay, the three guna and how they shape your life. Bodily kingdom ruled by the soul and ego. What are the different scenarios that happen when the body is ruled by the soul, and at times when the body is ruled by the ego. Senses when ruled by ego versus soul. Okay, so senses when ruled by the ego and senses when ruled by the soul. So that is also, these are also two different scenarios that we will be looking into. I just felt that the video might get very, very lengthy, and so this is why I just kept it concise till here. Next week we are going to learn into this. So thank you so much for watching by now, and yeah, once you have watched this video entirely, what I would like to say is, what are the three main learnings that you learned through this video? Okay, I would like that you share your three big learnings from this video. And see, it's not something that you just learn. You learn when you apply those things in your real life. So what are the three learnings that you would like to apply for this week in your life, so that you can help your soul evolve, so that you can imbibe the learnings of Bhagwad Gita into your real life, okay? Because Bhagwad Gita is not just flipping through a book and saying and bragging, oh, I have read Bhagwad Gita. It's about learning, and learning happens only when you apply the teachings into the real life. Okay, so this is it for this week's video. I hope that you like it. If you have liked this video, hit the like button. If you feel that this video can help somebody, do share this video with that person. I will see you again in my next video. Until then, keep following the path of your soul's purpose, because you are born for a reason. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.
Make sure that you subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon. When you click on the bell icon, select all notifications so that you get notified about all the videos that I upload.